Thank you. I'd like to first thank the representatives who've taken the time over the last few days to recognize the terrible actions that are going on in Ukraine, especially Representative Kifowitz's heartfelt remarks yesterday and Representative Swanson's remarks as veterans mean a lot. Today, on this very day, 3 days ago, in this very chamber, I had the honor to host a delegation of young Ukrainian leaders here in our state capitol. 3 out of 4 years, that was the third out of 4 years that I've been able to talk to Ukrainian leaders, up-and-coming leaders that participate in the Open World program, which is a congressionally led program to bring young leaders from Eastern European nations to the United States to learn about democracy and free markets. Our Illinois National Guard, which I'm proud to represent the home of the Illinois National Guard here in Springfield, for 11 months in 2020 and 2021, was deployed to Ukraine via our 33rd Infantry Brigade combat team that helped train some of the very Ukrainian soldiers who are defending their capital city at this moment. Illinois has a huge stake in the aggression that's happening in Ukraine, and we must stand up to it. Leader Demmer yesterday talked a little bit about what we can do in our own way in the state of Illinois. We can support our significant Ukrainian population here in Illinois. We can look at legislation proposed by Leader Demmer and Leader Durkin that look at what we do with refugees or making sure we're not investing in Russian things in Illinois. We can ensure that we do all we can to support our National Guard, the very folks that have trained these Ukrainian soldiers to support our National Guard, everything we can do to do that. We can look at things when Alexander Ovechkin, one of the biggest Putin supporters, comes to town to play the Blackhawks. Maybe the media should harass him and find out why the hell he supports Putin, why he's making money, significant money, here in the United States. We have Russian athletes that have, Russian oligarchs that have made millions, billions in the United States. We need to hold them to account. You also need to ask your member of Congress what they intend to do. What sanctions are they going to support? Are they going to support the hardest possible sanctions against Russia to hold them accountable? Are they going to fully support our military? Are they going to help provide the Ukrainian people the true resources they need to defend themselves beyond sanctions? Are we going to provide them the weapons they need to defend against Russia? That's what you need to ask your member of Congress. Have they stood strong in the condemnation of the actions by the imperialistic, authoritarian regime headed by Putin? Or do they deflect and send their prayers to the people of Ukraine? Folks, the future of a freedom-loving, democratically elected ally of the United States is at stake. Thoughts and prayers don't cut it, folks. My father and my grandfather fought on those fields in Europe in World War II and World War I against authoritarianism. It's terrible to see it happening again today. Democracy's in peril on that great continent, where many of us have roots. We must vigorously defend those nations and people who share our values of equality, justice, democracy, and freedom. Russia is not our friend. Let me remind you of that nice little hack they did to our election systems in 2016. Russia's not our friend. Yet for 2 decades we tried to appease Putin, and it's gotten us exactly where we're at today. Appeasing Putin has gotten Georgia invaded and Ukraine invaded twice. It's time we stand up. It's time we stand up and do what we can to to defend democracy around the world. That's what we do as Americans. We have our own problems here at home. We have our own fights. But what we all believe in is the democratic values that have made this country strong for 246 years. That's what we need to do. We need to stand with Ukraine. Because those people that I hosted in this chamber, they're on Putin's hit list today. It's exactly who they are. They're city council members, economic development people, leaders in their communities, and they're on his hit list, and we need to defend them. We need to stand with Ukraine. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.